Hi, I'm Melissa from Exam Facts, and I am here to tell you all you need to know to interpret arterial blood gases, or ABGs, as far as determining whether they're compensated, uncompensated, partially compensated. So this is interpreting blood gases. This is not going to cover oxygenation. We'll do that in a separate lecture. Okay, so we're here at Exam Facts, provide everything you need to pass your exam. And we're talking about the TMC and CSE exam. So you can check us out at examfacts.net. And we have a lot more free videos uploaded there as well. So let's talk a little bit about normals. Now, it is imperative that you know the following ranges. Your pH, 735 to 45, CO2, 35 to 45, and your bicarb 22 to 26. So the 35 to 45, 735, 745 should be easy enough to remember. The tricky part is that you have to remember when we're talking about pHs here, that when we're less than 735 is when we get more acidotic. It becomes an acidosis. When we're greater than 745, we have an alkalosis. Okay, CO2 is the exact opposite. CO2 is an acid. Therefore, the bigger the number, the more acidotic. So greater than 45 will be acidotic. Less than 35 will actually be alkalotic or basic. It's actually going to pull your pH up into the alkalotic range, okay? Bicarb, 22 to 26. I know base excess is also on the gas. It's really best to just concentrate on one or the other, and here I'm covering bicarb. I feel it's a little easier to do bicarb because we're not dealing with the negatives. So, again, CO2 is an acid, therefore the bigger the CO2 number, the more acidotic. Bicarb is a base, so it is less acidotic or more basic, more alkalotic, the bigger the number. So 28, 29, 30 on a bicarb is going to be more basic, more alkalotic. Okay, let's go on. Now, I am going to teach you 4 questions, and you won't always get to question number 4. Like in this first scenario, we're not going to make it to question number 4. But these 4 questions, if you ask them consistently, you will be able to identify any blood gas quickly, easily, without any issue. Okay, so let's look at this blood gas. So 732 is the first thing we're looking at, just that pH. So whatever the pH is, our gas is. Right? So 732 is definitely less than 735. So anything less than 735 is acidotic. So when we're naming a blood gas, we say acidosis. Our gas is an acidosis. And that's going to be the last word of our naming of our blood gas, of our interpretation. Okay? CO2 is 67 and bicarb is 22. So the next question is, who did it? Whose fault is it? Who made the gas acidotic? And you do that by determining if your CO2 is acidotic, alkalotic, or normal. And in this case, it's definitely acidotic, right? So the acidosis matches up with the acidosis of the pH. So it's obviously the CO2 that caused it. So the CO2 caused the acidosis, so therefore it's a respiratory acidosis because the CO2 is the respiratory parameter. Okay, rule number 3 is the other guy trying to help. So the way the pH stays balanced is everybody either stays in their lane and stays normal, or when someone gets out of line, the opposite parameter adjusts to get that pH back into normal range. So in this case, we're going to ask, is that bicarb trying to help? The answer is no. That means we are only asking 3 questions, because if the answer is no, we're done naming our gas. Question number 1, the answer was acidosis. Question number 2, who did it? Respiratory. And question number 3 is the other guy trying to help? The answer is no. Therefore, it's an uncompensated respiratory acidosis. Okay, let's look at another one. All right, so now we have a 735. So 735 is a normal pH, right? So a normal pH is fine, but we still have to decide, where was it? What, did it come from acidosis or did it come from alkalosis? So 735 is pretty close to 734. So we're going to go out on a limb here, and not really. It's pretty obvious that that was an acidotic gas. So we're going to still name this an acidosis, even though it's normal. Now, the next question, who did it? So in this case, we have a CO2 that is high, so therefore it's alkalotic, and our bicarb is also high, so therefore that's very basic or alkalotic. I think I said alkalotic with the CO2, sorry. So our CO2 is high, so that's obviously acidotic, and the bicarb is also high, so that's alkalotic, because the bicarb's a base, so the higher the number, the more alkalotic. CO2 is an acid, the higher the number, the more acidotic. Okay, so which one matches our pH, which we decided was an acidosis? That would be respiratory. So we've gotten to question 2, and we've decided it's a respiratory acidosis. Okay, now question 3. Is the opposite parameter or the other guy trying to help fix the pH? If the answer is yes, the gas is compensated. In this case, he is definitely going the opposite direction, trying to fix that seesaw, right? So we have a compensated respiratory acidosis. Now, question 4, did he do it? Did he make it across the finish line and fix the pH? Is the pH fixed? In this case, it is. Therefore, we have a fully compensated respiratory acidosis. If the other guy was trying to help, but our pH was still out of range, it would be partially. So you still write down the answers as they come. Question 1, what is it? And that's an acidosis. Who did it? Respiratory. Is the other guy trying to help? Yes, compensated. Did he do it? If the answer is no, he didn't do it, then it's a partially compensated. The only time it's uncompensated is if he's not trying to help, because there's only uncompensated, partially, and fully. So if you just ask these questions, you'll get these answers every single time. All right, let's go over how this works one more time. So question 1, what is the pH? Acidotic or alkalotic? If it's normal, which side did it come from? The only time you're going to have a normal gas is if everything's normal, your CO2 and your bicarb. So most of the time when you're interpreting ABGs, it's going to be acidotic or alkalotic. So this is the last word of your interpretation. You answer question 1, you write that down on the far right side of your page because it's going to be the last word. Question 2, who did it? Which parameter matches the pH? PaCO2, if that's going the same direction as the pH, then your respiratory. If it's the bicarb, then it's metabolic, and that goes right in front of the answer to question 1. Question 3 is a yes or no question. Is the other guy or parameter trying to help? No, uncompensated. Yes, you write compensated. Question 4, did they do it? Is the pH all the way back to the finish line in the normal range? Yes, you write fully. No, you write partially. And that is the easy way to do blood gas interpretation. Again, thank you so much for spending this 10 minutes or so with me. Here at Exam Facts, we provide nothing but the facts you need to pass the exam. Check us out on examfacts.net. Thank you.